Saddam Hussein is a homicidal dictator who is addicted to weapons of mass destruction.
President Obama announced that he was bombing military targets in Libya.
Drone missiles hit targets inside Pakistan almost every day,
killing al-Qaeda militants and other extremists in Yemen.
Jumped off the page for me. Drone attacks in Somalia.
A secret document that authorized the CIA to act against Iran.
We have helped the people of Afghanistan establish freedom from the Taliban.
They're one of the 4 state sponsors of terror in the world.
And I think we need to recognize that right now Iran is on offense.
Iran is a country that must be confronted.
And those generals recommended to President Obama that we should not start drawing our troops down until after the fighting season in 2012.
Is setting up training camps and is working with Venezuela and other countries.
I will do everything to make sure that Iran does not become a nuclear power.
And we should now look for the people of Afghanistan to pick up their fight and preserve that liberty that's been so dearly won.
That we have to go around and apologize for the fact that we've gone out and exerted our influence to create freedom around the world. I don't apologize.
The new type of war, the new type of warfare, and the new type of terrorists that this country is dealing with.
Iran will not get a nuclear weapon because the world as we know it will be no more.
Okay. It's time we quit this. It's time. It's trillions of dollars we're spending on these wars.
Countries that you put sanctions on, you are more likely to fight them. I say a policy of peace is free trade, stay out of the internal business, don't get involved in these wars, and just bring our troops home.
Congressman Paul.
We started it in 1953 when we sent in a coup, installed the Shah, and the reaction, the blowback came in 1979. It's been going on and on because we just plain don't mind our own business. That's our problem.
Mr. Kang.
Stocks took yet another major dive.
They don't say inflate the currency. They don't say debase the currency. They don't say devalue the currency. They don't say cheat the people who are saved. They say lower the interest rates.
The worst day for the stock market since the height of the financial crisis, capping a run of 2 weeks, racing almost $2 trillion.
They don't have any idea about the significance of the monetary system and what's going on with the Federal Reserve. But the people, grassroots America, is starting to wake up. Millions of people are reading about the Federal Reserve and understanding how they bail out their friends, create trillions of dollars, give a third of all that money they used in the bailout and gave it to foreign banks. People are realizing this, even though the media, generally speaking, they don't understand it. They don't ask me the right questions. And if they do understand it, they don't want to get the secret out on how the system that we have protects the special interests, the big corporations, the corporatism that runs our society. Because it's not like I'm just trying to win and get elected. I'm trying to change the course of history. And our history in this country hasn't been good for the last 100 years, whether it's our drift into managing empire, a destruction of our currency, the deficits that have been run up, the climax of the dollar reserve standard. This is big stuff, and nobody else is addressing this.
There is one candidate who has been largely ignored by the mainstream media. Shame on us. He deserves more attention from us than he's getting. Ron Paul makes a lot of sense, and more people ought to listen to him. The Texas congressman has visionary ideas about where the country ought to be going and what sea changes are necessary in order for the U.S. to continue being a superpower. When Ron Paul ran for the Republican nomination in 2008, he talked about the economy imploding, the untenable nature of the national debt, the eventual destruction of our currency, and the limited role for government. In the case of Ron Paul, it seems events over the last 4 years have finally caught up with the candidate. Paul's message hasn't changed, but the urgency of what he's saying has increased dramatically. And it seems like this time, more people may be listening.
Is Ron Paul being ignored by the media? 97% of you said yes, he is. 3% said no. And listen to this. We had voters from 26 different countries voting in that poll.
And earlier we asked you to visit our website and tell us of the 2 Texas candidates who has your vote. Let's look at the results tonight.
19% said Rick Perry and 81% said Ron Paul.
He is a force to be reckoned with. A 3-time presidential candidate, congressman from Texas, OB/GYN doctor, and leader of a revolution.
He's the man. He needs to be president.
Well, I think he's a smart guy, and I think he would change things that need to be changed.
Personally, would have described myself prior to seeing Ron Paul in the 08 election cycle as a liberal Democrat. But I saw him up on stage talking, against the wars, against these violations of our civil liberties, and why aren't the Democrats saying this?
Or even this.
We need to fix the country. We've maxed out our debt ceiling as it is, and then we're in too many countries.
All that small government grassroots business, he planted that grass. These other folks, they're just moral majorities in a tri-cornered hat. Ron Paul's the real deal.
Do you think you have a shot at the Republican nomination, or do you think you may end up playing the role of spoiler?
I think I have a real shot.